हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाय नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य माणिस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्ददामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। In the first chapter of this Aitareya Upanishad, the creation story is revealed. So all this, what we see as this world, is Atma alone. Other than Atma, nothing else is there. And to recognize this Atma, to realize this Atma itself is the aim and goal of our spiritual path. And once we realize this Atma, we will become free of all samsara. If Atma is not realized, then we have to remain in this samsara, taking birth again and again. The samsara continues. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. Our birth and death, and again taking birth in another body, continues till we pray to Bhagwan, till we gain this self-knowledge. So as a human being, we are born, we have three births. The first, we are born in our father's body as the seed, as the semen. Then that is placed in the mother's womb. That is considered as the first birth. Then from the mother's womb, in the mother's womb, we grow fully, and then we are born in this world. That is considered as the second birth. And then when we die and again are born in the father's body, is considered as the third birth. So this birth is described here to create vairagya in our mind. Because this is the opportunity which we have gained. If we miss this opportunity, then we will be born again and again. And when we will get the next opportunity, we don't know. So let us chant this mantras of the second chapter, that which we have seen. Purushe hava ayam adito garbho bhavati yadetat retah tadetat sarvebhyo angebhyas tejah sambhutam atmani eva atmanam vibharti tad yada striyam sinchati atha enad janayati तदस्य प्रथमं जन्म तत्स्त्रिया आत्मभूतं गच्छति यथा स्वमंगम तथा तस्माद् एनां न हिनस्ति सा अस्य एतम् आत्मानम् अत्र गतं भावयति सा भावयत्री भावयितव्या भवति तं स्त्री गर्भं बिभर्ति सोऽग्र एव कुमारं जन्मनः अग्रे अधिभावयति स यत्कुमारं जन्मनो अग्रे अधिभावयति आत्मानं एव तद्भावयति येषां लोकानां संतत्या एवं संतता हि मे लोकाः तदस्य द्वितीयं जन्म. First, the person, this jiva, who returns from the Svargalok or other higher lokas, comes back into this world. First comes in the moisture, the clouds, then falls down as rains, and then takes support of the herbs and the seeds, and then enters the body of the father and becomes the seed, the semen. Thereafter, that is offered into a woman, and he grows in the womb. That is the first birth. Then, after fully developed in the womb, is born in this world. That is the second birth. Then what happens? That is said now in the fourth mantra. So asya ayam atma punyebhya pratidhiyate atha asya ayam itara atma kritakrityo vayogatah praiti sa itah prayanneva punarjayate tadasya tritiyam janma. So ayam atma punyebhya pratidhiyate. So this jiva who is born is the atma of the father who is born as his own son, and he is given proper samskar, and then he represents the father in performing the various punya karma, becomes the representative of the father. The son becomes the representative of the father to continue with the dharmic karma. So Shankaracharya writes कि अस्य पितुः सोयम पुत्रात्मा पुण्येभ्य शास्त्रोक्तेभ्य कर्मभ्य कर्म निष्पादनार्थं प्रतिधीयते पितुः स्थाने पित्रा यत् कर्तव्यं तत् करणाय. So he becomes a representative. He is the representative of the father. He comes in the place of the father to perform the various karmas according to the Shastra. So that is how the parampara continues. See, our whatever is revealed in the Vedas, that alone is expressing in our Sanatana Dharma, in the tradition, in all the rituals, in all the various types of karma which is performed by staying in different varna and ashrama. And this parampara continues because this is how the world moves. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says that I have started this chakra of this world, which is based on karma, and one should continue this process. So, evam pravartitam chakram nanuvartayati hayah aghayurindriya ramaha mogham parthasa jivati. Bhagavan says, the chakra which I have started, this karma chakra, one should sincerely follow this chakra. One who doesn't do it, one who abandons his kartavya karma, one who doesn't follow the proper dharma, is is mogham parthasa jivati, is living in vain, is wasting not only his life but disturbing the balance of the society. And when such balance of the society get disturbed, then Bhagwan takes avatar to set it right again. So yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijami ham परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. So Bhagwan takes avatar to set the dharma chakra right again by protecting the good, by destroying the evil, and by re-establishing dharma. So father has to give all the samskar to the son and make him the representative of all the karma which one has to perform. So having made the son the representative, then what happens? This father becomes old. So atha anantaram putre niveshya atmanaha bharam asya putrasya itaraha ayam ya pitratma kritakritya kartavyat ranatrayad vimuktah kritakartavya ityartah. The father becomes free of all the debts, free of all the rena. See, when we are born here, we are naturally indebted. We have 5 arenas. They are called the Pitrurun, the Rishirun, the Devatarun, Devarun, then the Manushyaruna, and Bhutaruna. When we are born in this world, we are indebted to all these various factors. We are indebted to our ancestors because in their lineage only we take birth. So their ashirvad should be there, are there behind us. So we are indebted to them to allow us to be born in their lineage. Then we are indebted to the Rishi Munis who have passed on this knowledge of the Vedas, because of which we know what is dharma, we know what is adharma, we know how to live in this world, fulfilling all our responsibilities. So we are indebted to the great Rishi Munis. So that is called Rishi Rina. To be indebted to the ancestors is called Pitru Runa. And we are also indebted to the Devatas because with their help only we live in this world. The Devatas are present in our body, which we have seen in all the Indriyas. And the Devatas are present outside also. So all our interaction is possible because of these Devatas. Without their help, we will not be able to do anything. So we are indebted to these Devatas. Then we are also indebted to other human beings. We are living in this human society. So we are always, we take advantage of all the things which are done by other human beings, our food, clothing, shelter, so many things are possible because of the presence of other human beings. So we are indebted to them. It's called Manushya Rina. And we are also indebted to the nature in general, to the birds, the animals, and the vanaspatis, to the nature around. So, Bhuta Rina. So, we have to become free of all these debts before we leave this world. Otherwise, we are born again, and if we have not repaid, then we have to pay it in some other births. So we become free of our Pitruruna by performing whatever the traditional karma which the ancestors have given us, by having children, by giving them proper samskar, by teaching them about the tradition, by keeping the flow of this tradition moving. We also, by performing the Shraddha karma and other karmas for the ancestors, we become free of the Pitruruna. Then we become free of the Rishiruna by following the path of Dharma and also teaching this to our children and to others by studying the Shastras and sharing the knowledge of the Shastras with our own children and with others. We become free of Rishi Runa and we become free of the Devta Runa by performing karmas dedicated to these Devatas. Also, by doing seva of other human beings and doing seva of other birds, animal, plants, we become free of the Manushya Runa and Bhuta Runa. So, this father who has become free of all this after placing his son in his place. So putrasya itaraha ayam ya pitratma kritakritya kartavyat rinatrayad vimuktaha, becoming free of this rina. The three main rinas are Pitru rina, Deva rina, and Rishi rina. So becoming free of all these three rinas, vimuktaha kritakartavya ityartha, he become totally fulfilled. That whatever I have to do, I have done. And then grows old, vayogataha, gatavaya jirnaha, body and all becomes weak and the limbs also becomes weak, old age. So one has to pass through all these different stages of our life. So having become old, then he dies. So jirna sampraiti mriyate. And when he dies, sa itaha asmat prayanneva shariram parityajaneva trunajalokavat dehantaram upadadanaha karma chitam punarjayate. And when he dies, while dying itself, he holds on to the other body which he will be acquiring. Shankaracharya ji writes, gives the example of an insect which is there on the grass or the leaf. It is eating or it is on one leaf, and then when it wants to leave that leaf, it catches hold of the other leaf and then leaves this leaf. Similarly, when a person dies, even at the time of death itself, which birth he will get next is already determined, and he holds on to that and leaves this body. Of course, there are other possibilities are also there. If If a lot of punya karmas are there, then he goes to Swargalok and comes back. Before dying, if he has gained self-knowledge and becomes is not born again. If papa karma is done, then this person after dying goes to Naraka Loka or remains in Preta Yoni. And again, depending on the karma, is born again as an animal, bird, plant, or is born as a human being. So while leaving this body itself, as though catches hold of the other body, like this insect, and sa itaha asmat prayanneva shariram parityajaneva trinajalukavat dehantaram upadadanah karmachitam punarjayate, is born again according to his karma. Tadasya mritva pratipatyavyam yat tat tritiyam janma. So this is his third birth. This is his third birth. Here, Shankaracharya himself raises a question that you were talking about the birth of this jiva. So when he is in this father's body, and when he comes out of that father's body in the form of that semen and enters the body of the mother, is considered as first birth. Then when he grows in the mother's womb and he comes out into this world, is considered as a second birth. And now you are saying this father, when he dies and is born again, that is his third birth. So it seems little paradoxical, like. So Shankaracharya says there is no paradox here. That the scripture wants to convey that it is one Atma itself. There is no separation there. And also, what is applicable to one person is applicable to another person also. Even this child who grows, he will also grow old and he will die to gain another body. So to die and to come into the body of the father is the first birth. Then from the father's remaining in the father's body and then coming out and going into mother's body is the to come into the father's body is the third birth. From the father's body going into the mother's body is the first birth. From the mother's body coming out into this world is the second birth. So in this way, this birth and death cycle goes on and on. The description is given here to show us how this samsara continues in this way. If we don't gain self-knowledge, then we will have to take birth again and again. And when we will be born again as a human being, and when we will get the opportunity of a satsang, and when we will get the opportunity to do our sadhana and become free, we don't know. Now we are born as a human being and we have this opportunity. So we should make full use of this opportunity without wasting our time in useless other activities. All other activities are useless. Whatever is required to maintain our body and to just do our other kartavya, one has to do, but the focus should be to gain self-knowledge and become free of this samsara bandhan. If we don't do that, it's a great, great loss. Okay. So now the Shruti gives an example of someone who became free of this samsara bandhan. Very fascinating example is given. Shankaracharya ji writes कि एवं संसरन अवस्थाभिव्यक्तित्रयेण जन्म मरण प्रबंधारूढ़ सर्वो लोकः संसार समुद्रे निपपतितः. In this way, going from one body to another body, remaining in father's body, then going into mother's body, then coming out into this world in our own body, then again dying, then again coming into another father's body, going into the mother's body, then coming into our own body, into this world. This goes on and on and on. In all these three locations, we are there. Sometimes in the father's body, sometimes in the mother's body, sometimes in our own body. So avastha, taraya. So samsaran avasthabhivyaktitrayena janma marana prabandharudha sarvo loka samsara samudre nipatitaha. So one is fallen into the samsara samudra, in the ocean of samsara. कथंचित यदा श्रुति उक्तम आत्मानं विजानाति. But some rare few, if he happens to know the self which is indicated in the Shastras, if he realizes, come to recognize, when we come to recognize ourselves as we are, not having all false notion about myself, but to know myself as that Satchidananda Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. In this way, when we come to recognize our own self, Vijanati Yasyam Kasyanchit Avasthayam Tadaiva Mukta Sarva Samsara Vandanaha Kritakrityo Bhavati. And this can happen at any stage. It can happen while in father's body also, which is very rare. Which can happen even while being in the mother's body, which is also rare. Which can happen while being in our own body in this world, which is also rare. So here the teacher gives an example of someone who gained this enlightenment while being in the mother's body, in the womb of the mother. Most amazing example. So let us chant mantra number 5. Taduktam rishina garbhenusan anvesham avedam aham devanam janimani vishwa shatam ma pura ayasihi अपक्षन्नध शेनो जवसा निरदीयमिति गर्भ एव एतच्छयानो वामदेव एवं उवाच. Again. तदुक्तं ऋषीणां गर्भेऽनुसन् अन्वेषाम् अवेदम् अहं देवानां जनिमानि विश्वा शतं मा पुर आयसीः अपक्षन्नध श्रेणो जवसा निरदीयमिति गर्भ एव एतच्छयानो वामदेव एवम् उवाच. So Rishi this is how one has gained this enlightenment even while being in the mother's womb. This mantra reveals that. This is revealed in this mantra. So here a rishi who has become free like that, a rishi Vamadeva. Vamadeva rishi. And he says, Ki garbhenu san anvesham avedam aham. That while living in the mother's womb, while being in the mother's womb, see, our body undergoes change, but we are the same entity. The Sukshma Sharir remains same. When we die, the Sthula Sharir is left behind, but the Sukshma Sharir remains same. Sukshma Sharir doesn't die. Sukshma Sharir means Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Prana, Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankara. The 19 parts are there, they don't die. They continue from one body to another. Nowadays we can understand this with the help of example of our own mobile. We have a little chip, what we call the SIM card, which is put in the mobile, the instrument. We have an instrument in which we place the what we call that SIM, and in that SIM, all our data is stored. Our phone number and all other details, many other details are also stored in that SIM. Then when the instrument becomes old or doesn't function properly, or we get tired of it, we want a new instrument, the latest model with more features. Then what happens? Then we buy that new phone. We buy that new phone. We unwrap the new phone. And then we remove this SIM from this phone and put it in the new phone. So this phone dies and that phone is born. Means the SIM is born again in the other phone. When my friend has changed his phone, I might not even know that he has changed his phone because I am communicating to that SIM which remains same. Phone has changed, but the SIM has not changed. Similarly, our Sukshma Sharir is like the SIM card, which contains all the data. And when we die, we just go from one body to another body. Everything remains same. Other fellow may not recognize that it is same person, but Bhagwan knows, the Devtas knows. Devta knows that this is the same person. In the past life, he did not do the Upasana properly. He did not do our puja properly. So they also get irritated. They might get irritated. They remember everything. So Devtas remember our past life and all. Ishvara remembers our past life. But we don't. We might for some time remember our past life, but we generally forget. So we continue, the Sukshma Sharir continues from one body to another body. So while being in the mother's womb also, we are the same person. And our mind, our intellect and all, they are there, they are quite advanced. So even in the mother's womb, we have the power to think, to contemplate. So descriptions are there in our Shastras that the jiva in mother's womb recognizes his condition that I have performed this karma in my past life and now I am again taking birth, and this goes on. So sometimes, and he takes a sankalpa that once I am born, I will just follow this path of dharma, I will follow the path of spirituality and become free of this. This is such a nuisance to be born again and again. So he takes a sankalpa in the mother's womb. But when he is born into this world, because of all this vayu and this and that forgetfulness happens. And he continues, gets trapped in this body and continues to live like an ignorant person. So our life in mother's womb is quite amazing. It is possible to gain enlightenment even while being there. Even Shukadev ji, he attained enlightenment in mother's womb. So here, the story of Vamadeva, a great rishi, who while being in the mother's womb, he just saw the whole drama of this samsara. एतद् वस्तु तद् ऋषीणां मन्त्रेण अपि उक्तम् इति आह गर्भेन मातुः गर्भाशय एव सन् नो इति वितर्के अनेक जन्मांतर भावना परिपाकवशात् येषां देवानां वाग् अग्न्यादीनां जनिमानि. Because of the samskar, this Vamadeva, because of his samskars of many past lives, where he had done the sadhana. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan says that if you do your sadhana for many, many lifetimes, then finally you will gain this self-knowledge. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many, many lifetimes, a person becomes jnanavan and then surrenders to that Supreme Paramatma. So here also, Rishi Vamadeva, because of his past life sadhanas, he recognized the births of all these devatas. See, really speaking, we are not born. Our Atma is not born. The devatas are born again and again in different bodies. Means the Sukshma Sharir, which is occupied by the devata, Vak, means Agni devata, and we have seen the Vayu devata, and all these devatas who are occupying our Sukshma Sharir, they are born again and again. So Vamadeva, he could see this very clearly. It's like, again, to give the example of our mobile. So we have this instrument, which is like our stula sharir. Then we have the SIM card and all. Also the battery, the SIM card and the battery are like the Sukshma Sharir. The battery is like Pran, giving the energy, the power. And the Sukshma Sharir, along with Ahankar, is like the SIM card. But who is the Atma? I, the user, is the Atma. I am the Atma. When the SIM card goes from one phone to another, I don't die. Nothing happens to me. When the instrument gets destroyed, I don't get destroyed. When the SIM card gets destroyed, I don't get destroyed. I am the Atma. I am like the Atma. Similarly, the Stula Sharir, Sukshma Sharir are different. I, the Atma, is different. So Vamadeva could see very clearly the birth of all these devatas. Vag, Agnyadinam, Janimani, Janmani, Vishwa, Vishwani, Sarvani, all their births he could experience, he could see. Sarvani anu avedam ahamaho anubuddhavan asmiti. He could recognize the births of all these devatas, and he could also see that I am unnecessarily feeling bound by identifying with these devatas, by identifying with the body, by identifying with the Sukshma Sharir. Unnecessarily I am feeling bound. He could see it very vividly, and that seeing itself made him free. Shatam aneka bahava mamam pura ayasihi. He saw that many shackles, iron, as though iron cage, had bound me, had tied me up. Ayasya lohamayi, of these iron cages of different bodies, Sukshma Sharir, Stula Sharir, and all it's like a cage, like shackles made up of iron, as though had bound me. Eva abhedyani, unpenetrable iron cages, sharirani, all these bodies which I felt I am bound. Sharirani iti abhiprayah arakshan rakshitavatya samsara pasha nirgamanad adha, as though protected by this body, as though caged by this in this body. In various bodies I was there. Just like sometimes we also catch some wild animals or birds and put them in some cage. And when they live in the cage for a long time, then they don't even know that they are bound. There are some birds who might be born in a cage and grow up in a cage, may not even realize that there is something called freedom. Similarly, we are in this body and we don't even know what is the meaning of freedom. But Vamadeva could see it vividly that I am as though bound by all these bodies. I was bound in my past lives. So when he realized this, Atha shena iva jalam bhitva javasa. Then he just broke open the cage, cut asunder all the shackles like a mighty eagle. See, you see these birds, and the most powerful and strong bird you see are the eagles. They are very mighty. They can take flight and they can even pick up animals, heavy animals with their claws and lift them up in the sky. Quite strong and powerful. But even this powerful bird, if it is caged and all, it loses its ability to fly. It doesn't understand its own strength and power. Our Pujya Gurudev is to give example of an eagle that eagle's egg happened to be hatched in among the hens, and it grew up with lots of hens around and started thinking, I am also a hen. But then a mighty eagle dived deep to pick up the hen, and it saw a full grown eagle also running out of fear. So it caught hold of that eagle and asked him, what are you doing here? He says, oh, I am a hen, please don't eat me. He said, you are not a hen. You are not a hen, you are an eagle just like me. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu. You are also an eagle. He said, no, I am not an eagle, I am just a hen. Said, look at yourself, spread your wings, look at those span of your wings, the mighty power which is there within you. And with lot of effort, this eagle, Guru eagle, taught the Shishya eagle about his own power, about his own nature. And then he suddenly realized, he looked at himself, and then he just flew free from the bondage of being a hen, frightened hen, flew into the sky. Similarly, all of us, we are born in this body, we think we are this body, we are limited, miserable, jiva, having limited power and strength and knowledge. Then a compassionate teacher comes and tells us that you are Brahma, Tattvamasi. After lots and lots of effort, the teacher teaches us that you are Brahma. Please wake up. उठ जाग मुसाफिर भोर भई, अब रैन कहाँ जो सोवत है. Wake up. So when we wake up, we will also be free like Vamadeva. So like that Athashena iva, like an eagle, Jalam bhitva, breaking the cage, breaking all the bonds of this body, this sukshma sharir, this ignorance. Javasa atmadhyana krata samarthena, with the speed he came out of that cage. with the power of Atmajnana. Atmajnana krita samarthena, by the power of Atmajnana, by the power of self-knowledge, he became free of this bondage, like a bird coming out of the cage and flying into the sky. Oh, Garbha eva shayano Vamadeva rishihi evam uvacha etad. So, remaining in the mother's womb, Vamadeva became free. The body need not be free. The Sukshma Sharir need not be free. I become free. Whether the body is in mother's womb or whether it is out in this world, one can gain self-knowledge in whatever state the body might be. So even when the body was there, Vamadeva, that body was there in mother's womb, he became free. He became Jivan Mukta. So Vamadeva Rishi Evam Vacha, and he spoke about his Jivan Mukti in this way. So this is the most fascinating. One more mantra is there. That we will see in our class on Monday. Not next Monday, we will have a break next week. So the next class will be on 18th November. Next week we won't have any classes on this Upanishad. The next class will be on 18th November, Monday. Then we will again revise what we have seen and do this last mantra also, and then begin the third chapter of this Upanishad, the concluding chapter, which also reveals the great Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma. So till then, you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to the pravachan again, and contemplate, meditate, and see you on 18th November. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Bhagye Siya Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.